part of the question for the community hearing, but not stopping. See now we have like 4 variances that are looking to be granted, plus the special use. Do we want to vote on each one separately, or do they get necessarily all lumped together?
I think it probably makes sense to do them separately.
Each one is separately,
Yes.
special use separately, and
Yes.
each of their
Yes.
separately. And then we can have a discussion of any other topics that need to still be discussed.
Because there may be some variances that you, others that you're recommending against.
You know what, I will, okay.
So,
Thank you.
I'm sorry.
Yes. And, can I have a motion to adjourn the committee meeting and then start?
So does it have to be?
Motion to adjourn?
All those in favor say aye.
Yeah.
Those opposed? This committee hearing is adjourned.
Discussions, plan, and so it's important, and then I'll kind of give you a reminder of
Yep, please.
site status.
Ready? Okay. This hearing of the Zoning Board of Appeals will now come to order. In our earlier committee meeting, we asked Mr. Miroslav to be our acting secretary. So, Mr. Secretary, would you please call the roll?
Ms. Magnuson.
Present.
Mr. Budnick.
Absent.
Mr. Fontanetta.
Here.
Mr. Jerish.
Here.
Mr. Miroslav here. Mr. Ronstadt.
Here.
Mr. Thompson. Here.
We have a quorum. Ladies and gentlemen of the audience, this board consists of 7 members, 6 of which are here tonight, so we do have a quorum. And we are convened for the purpose of conducting a public hearing concerning a specific parcel of property at the written request of the petitioner. Based on the information brought out in the hearing and adhering to the zoning ordinances of the village, the board will submit written recommendations to the Board of Trustees and the President of the village, indicating whether or not we believe the petitioner's requests in all or in part should be granted or denied. So while this board is responsible for making recommendations, the final decision-making authority lies with the Board of Trustees. What I'm going to do right now is ask all of you in the audience to rise, and we'll swear everyone in. That way, in case anyone wishes to speak, you will have that opportunity. So please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
You do.
Okay, thank you very much. Please be seated. Sitting in front of us is our court reporter, Ms. Diane Sofiak, and she will record all of the discussions for the hearing for the transcript that will need to be produced to go to the Board of Trustees along with the recommendations of the board. And one of the things we will ask is to keep any side conversations to a minimum so Diane can hear everything we're saying. Also seated to my right is Ms. Joan Cherry. She is one of our village attorneys, and she will be advising us as we go through this process. HUD ordinance is unusual. It is not something we get a lot of. Matter of fact, this is the first one we've had on this ordinance, so we're going to try and work our way through it. As a matter of fact, what Ms. Cherry has done for us is put together the potential draft of an ordinance, and we're going to use that as our guide for discussion to make sure that we hit all of the items and all of the areas where we still have some open questions. Part of our discussion then will be about the request for special use and the 4 variances. The other part will be other areas where either there are open questions for the ordinance, or the board has questions as we work our way through the village ordinance, go, oh, we don't see anything about that. I think you heard some of those discussions earlier. Highly probable that we will not get through everything tonight, unless we are extremely agreeable and extremely efficient, but we will do our best. And then if need be, we will adjourn to a later date, certainly. All of our zoning hearings follow the same pattern. First, we ask the petitioner to present their case, and then the board will ask questions of the petitioner in order to obtain additional detail or clarify any questions. And so we'll ask you to give us an overall view of what you're going to do, and then we'll start working our way through the different requests for the variations. And probably a couple times along the way, we will stop and ask the members of the community if they have any questions or comments that they would like as we go through the special use and the different variances. Then when all the testimony has been presented, the board will come back together and discuss among ourselves what we think our results could be. And we're going to vote on the variances one at a time, so we may be going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth quite a lot. So we will be hearing one case tonight, and it is case number 596, thank you, for Star Montrose Galapa. Mr. Secretary, could you read the petitioner's letter?
December 18, 2014. Dear resident, for your vote on
we just finished swearing in the rest of the group, so I'm going to swear you in too in case you would like to speak. Thank you. Do you solemnly swear?
I do.
Tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do.
So help you God. Thank you.
From the Lackup Storage Centers, President of the Board of Trustees, Village of Norridge. My name is Rick Holscher, and I am the owner of a company called Lackup Self-Storage. We're headquartered in Northfield and have been in the self-storage business as owners and operators since 1976. We currently have the existing 32,000 square foot building located at 7300 Montrose under contract purchase. If we are successful in going through the PUD process in Norridge, our hopes for the property are as follows. Convert the existing building into a top-of-the-line interior access self-storage facility. 2. Add a new roughly 12,000 square foot addition to the current structure in the rear and fit that out as self-storage as well. As you know, the subject property has now been vacant for over 4 years and is beginning to fall into disrepair. As you can see from the attached renderings and elevations, we will pour significant resources into upgrading both the exterior facade as well as the interior. In addition to a large high-end office reception area and an indoor loading bay so the customers can be indoors and protected from the elements when loading and unloading their goods into storage, we plan to make many improvements to the building. Among them are the following. The entire front facade will be renovated with new windows, a new exterior coating, and signage, essentially making the building look brand new. Rebuild the roof to increase the insulation R value from the current level of under 2.0 up to an R value of 24. This will dramatically increase the energy efficiency and environmental friendliness of the existing building. The entire facility will be carpeted and have motion sensor lighting. The majority of the property will be gated and will have 16+ security cameras to ensure the safety of our customers and their goods. We will add new exterior lighting to enhance visibility and safety on the property during evening hours. This will make both our property and adjacent properties safer during evening hours, although the lighting will be screened to avoid spilling over to the neighbors' properties. In reading, the PUD self-storage appears to be an allowed use. We would like you to know that we believe it is in both our and Norridge's best interest to make this property, once renovated, look attractive as possible, both inside and out. I'm writing this letter to request that the zoning board of appeals schedule a hearing to hear our petition. While we have the ability to proceed with this project with no variances, we believe a few common sense variances will enhance the usability of the project for the community. Specifically, we are requesting small variances to the landscaping and screening requirements in the PUD, which are explained more fully in the balance of our submission. See attached. Sincerely, Rick Holscher.
I'm not going to turn the description of
The following is a list of proposed modifications to the PUD requirements. Number one,
Sorry,
park.
can you move the microphone just so it's Thank you.
Parking lot buffer and screening. Number two, masonry screen walls. Number three, 6-inch concrete curb. Number four, foundation plantings. Number five, landscape buffer and screening.
In addition, there is also a special use variance requested because the plan is to also sell
Moving related items.
Moving
Yeah,
related
boxes,
items.
tape.
So, and that, because
And
the,
the only thing I'd add is that the request for the 6-inch curb variance, we have since omitted.
thank you. Yeah. Retail sales are not permitted uses within a manufacturing district, so we need a special use for that. Okay. Petitioner, would you like to present your case and tell us about what you're going to do? And when you speak, please stand usually over in the corner, but however works best for your computer.
Sure.
So that both the audience and the board can hear. And also give us your name and your address each time you speak.
Sure. Thanks for hearing us. I'm Rick Hilscher. I am the petitioner. I'm one of the owners of BRB Development. We exclusively develop lock-up self-storage facilities. We're a Chicago company. We've always been a Chicago company. We're family-owned. We're based in Northfield, Illinois, right on frontage road along the East Expressway. This is a market we've been trying to get into for years. There's very little self-storage in this area relative to what exists in the greater Chicagoland area. The challenge is how to find a building or a piece of land that we can economically develop. And really, to build new, given the land values here, is economically not feasible. So the challenge has always been finding an appropriate